India is on the edge of an obesity epidemic. According to a study in The Lancet, by 2050, India could have over 440 million overweight or obese individuals. In 2021, India had 81 million men and 98 million women that were obese, and this number could rise to 218 million men and 231 million women, which will make India the second highest obese population in the world by 2050 after China. And our children are not immune either. By 2050, as per the study, about 16 million Indian boys and over 14 million girls aged 5 to 14 years could be overweight and obese. This could drive the country into a health crisis of epidemic proportions. But what's causing obesity in India? A World Health Organization analysis of 1.6 million students across 146 countries revealed that India had 73.9% of children with insufficient physical activity in 2016. And even though a lot of people are aware about the benefits of fitness, somewhere the actual process of exercising is being followed in a substandard way. Many people often engage only in long duration cardio activities such as running. While it helps burn calories, without incorporating resistance training, they may also lose muscle mass, which negatively affects their metabolism and in fact hinders weight loss.
I think some of the common mistakes that people make is they start doing random uh, workouts or random exercise routines at the same time. So probably on a Monday they'll do yoga, on on a Wednesday they'll go for CrossFit, or probably they'll also start running marathons.
The question is, what can people do to stay fit and keep obesity at bay? As per the study, it's estimated that around 8.4% of children in India are obese, with a further 12.4% being overweight. Currently, most schools have only 2 physical education periods a week. This should be increased to 4 to 5 physical education periods per week. This way, schools will be able to facilitate a combination of motor skills and lifestyle awareness habits in students that could well last a lifetime. As for adults, the American Heart Association prescribes at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic activity per week. This, coupled with muscle strengthening activities at least 2 days a week, should keep adults in a good health.
We have some part of a KRA in corporates dedicated to fitness. So imagine the fact that uh, if you meet a certain guideline in fitness, let's say if you lose a certain amount of weight, or if you lift a certain amount of load, or if you run a certain amount of distances, your salary will actually increase. So your salary will not only increase by the amount of work that you've done or the amount of productivity that you've shown at work while just sitting on your laptop, but also if we can have certain physical activity interventions in our general KRA. So, working hand in hand with the HR. And of course, by doing all of that, it's very important that we place some kind of a spot.
While the temptation is rife to sign up for a fitness program at the drop of a hat, it is vital to check for underlying health conditions. So, obtaining medical clearance before starting a fitness program is paramount. Additionally, when commencing a new fitness program, supervision is vital to negate injuries. Also, a warm up ritual is essential before commencing a fitness session. And for embarking on a cardiovascular routine, a 15 to 20-minute daily walk is the best way to start. This can gradually be doubled in keeping inputs from an instructor.
Sort of a physical routine, it's very important that we start with very low intensity exercises and then we slowly build it over. And I think it's high time that we should consider that bodybuilding is not fitness. Somebody with six-pack abs might look extremely fit, but he or she might not be the fittest individual physiologically. So it's important that your exercise should have a direct, uh, intervention, or it should have a direct impact with your physiological process.
As per the Lancet study, which is a comparison of the Indian diet with the Eat Lancet reference diet, the average daily calorie consumption in India is below the recommended 2503 calorie per day across all groups compared, except for the richest 5% of the population. For a balanced meal which assists in long-term weight control, here are some important things to keep in mind. High protein diet. Consuming protein-rich foods like lentils, tofu, eggs, and paneer helps preserve muscle mass while promoting fat loss. Fiber-rich foods, including high-fiber foods like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and seeds, increases satiety, controls hunger, and regulates blood sugar levels. Balanced micronutrients. Maintaining a balanced combination of carbohydrates, protein, and healthy fats optimizes energy levels, fat loss, and muscle retention. Calorie deficit. Creating a calorie deficit by reducing daily calorie intake by 500 or 700 calories promotes sustainable weight loss without extreme dieting. Additionally, it is important to practice mindful eating, which involves eating when hungry, practicing portion control, avoiding snacking, and eliminating processed foods. And remember, water is essential. A minimum of 2.5 to 3 liters of water every day is ideal. Prioritizing healthy eating and mental well-being is no longer optional. It is essential. India must foster a culture of holistic wellness, where balanced and nutritious diets, fitness, and mental resilience pave the way for a healthier and a more productive future. After all, a country's true wealth isn't just in its economy, it's in the health of its people as well.